Here, Robert Clark, the president of SCCA Pro Racing, in the center of our table. Steve Erickson is here. He is the vice president and COO of Honda Performance Development. Mark Sowers, HPD's senior engineer and chief engineer. Max Crawford, the president of Crawford Composites, to my right. Kevin Crawford, who is the aerodynamicist and senior project manager for Crawford Composites. Bobby Rahal, who you all know, Indy 500 champion, team owner, president of the Road Racing Drivers Club. Catherine Legg is with us as well. First woman to win a developmental open wheel race in North America. Veteran of the Indy 500, driver here this weekend for Delta Wing for the upcoming Grace Autosport effort at the Indy 500. We'd like to start our program off with Stefano. Would like to begin.
Well, of course. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I hope so. Otherwise, I speak louder. Anyway, no. I don't want to take too much of your time from my side, but I think that today is a very important day for motorsport. I don't want to. It's very important. I think it's very important for the FIA, the International Federation. But above all, it's very important because I think that motorsport in the United States is very, very huge, and I think that it was underdimensioned within the FIA context. So I think this is the chance where we can start, the connection between the International Federation and what is so relevant in this fantastic country. And I think that today, just to explain to the ones that are not so familiar to what is happening in the Formula world in the FIA, we created a step, a pyramid toward the growth of the young talent that are starting their career from Qatar. And then we thought that it was important to give them a stable and very good path toward the pivotal motorsport. And the F4 is the first step after karting that makes sure that the pyramid is clear, current, and we want to give the chance to the talent, in this case from this country, to make sure that they are able to compete and to grow in a framework that is very, very professional, very, very clear in terms of organization, very, very clear in terms of sporting and technical regulation, and very, very clear also in respect of what is investment that is needed at the first step of this ladder to enter in this world of competition. And I think that is really the relevancy of what is the day of today. I remember when we had the first meeting in not so many months ago, it was in May, we were all together in Indianapolis with people that I want to thank you with my heart later on. And I said, wow, we are here in September announcing this fantastic opportunity for the young talent that are here for sure in this country. And in such a short time, I think that I'm really very, very thankful for the job that has been done by all the parties involved in this project, because it's something that has been done with a great passion, with a great professionality, and this is something that on the FIA side we see as really the first step in the connection with what has been, this is my personal opinion of course, something not to connect with the FIA and to this fantastic movement that is in your country. So once again, incredible day. I don't want to take too much of the time on the presentation because we go specifically explaining exactly what we're talking about. But let me thank you with, as I said, with my heart. First of all, the president of ACUS, Nick Rock. I think that you play an incredible role. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to the SCCA, Robert, to all of you, and to the partners that will be presented today, because it is something that I'm sure there will be a championship as a reference in the F4 categories all around the world. As a final thing, just for you to know that this category is growing very, very well all around the world. We have already many, many championships. I can give you some examples. We can say that in Australia, in Japan, in Italy, in Mexico, they're going to launch the series for the Formula 1 event in the next month. In Middle East, in Europe, in NAS. So the attention toward this first step of the growth in the motorsport parameter is growing. And without you, I think the pyramid was not completed. So thank you very much, and all the best for something that will be for sure a great success, and will be the place where all the talent, the young talent, can show who they are and can compete in the future with other talent from all the different countries. Thank you so much, and all the best.
All right, thank you very much, Stefano. Now I'd like to take a moment and introduce Robert Clark in the middle of our table. He is the president of SCCA Pro Racing, which has a heavy involvement in it.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Stefano, for those kind words. Quickly, our schedule, our plan for today got shifted a bit. The plan was for the car to be in this room and to have a formal unveiling here. Actually, we weren't able to get the car in the room, so the room is going to be stationed out in the lobby. We're going to conduct our presentation. Once that's complete, we'll all move out into the lobby. We'll do a formal unveiling and take Q&A at that. So I was going to say, isn't that a beautiful car? But you haven't seen it yet, and it is a beautiful car. But I can say that this is the launch of a Formula 4 United States Championship. And this is something that the SCCA has been working on for nearly a year. And it's a very significant announcement in that it's one is that I want to thank the relationship that we've developed with the FIA. This is a relationship which has existed at some distance, but now we're kind of joining hands and working on something collectively that has not happened for many years, I think, since maybe the early Formula 1 races. And so this is truly a historic moment. I would like to specifically thank Stefano, Frederick Bertrand, who's I believe his title is manager of the Open Wheel Commission, and all of his team that have worked with us during the investigation, consideration, and ultimate planning for this very important announcement. I would also, as Stefano said, I would like to thank Nick and the entire ACUS organization. They have been fundamental in helping us navigate through this. Nick has been a phenomenal sounding board for me to work with, and has ultimately led to the success of this program. I would like to point out Steve Osa. Steve is our Vice President and General Manager of Pro Racing, and ultimately much of the burden of this program is going to end up in his hands. So Steve is a very welcome and capable person. We look forward to him assuming that role. Another special thanks to Bobby and Catherine in particular for being here, taking time out of their racing schedule this weekend to be here and to show their support and cooperation with Formula 4. I also like to recognize Jeremy Dale, who is here, and Paul Charsley, who's with Sim Raceway, who will come on later in the presentation. So, many of you might be thinking, just what we need is another ladder series, open wheel racing series. And the answer is, it is. F4 is exactly what this country needs, because F4 is not a car. F4 is a program, a very comprehensive program, which we'll outline through our discussions this morning. It's a program that's very well conceived from the FIA to attract new, younger drivers into motorsports, and in a way that provides them with a contemporary, modern product, a very affordable means of operation, gives them marketing support, and other things which we'll identify. But F4 is perfect from that point of view. Another key point is that F4 is ideal for SCCA Pro Racing. The SCCA and SCCA Pro Racing are on a mission to change motorsport. And F4, just as it's a ladder into open wheel racing, will provide a ladder for SCCA to reestablish itself in the vein of US RRC, Can-Am Racing, Formula 5000. SCCA is known arguably for some of the best motorsports this country has ever seen. Formula 4 will provide the ladder for us to reestablish that position in the marketplace. You're going to see a new SCCA. And with that, I'd like to get into the fact of Formula 4 program. The strength of that program comes from, as with any business relationship, comes from your partners. The stronger the partners, the stronger the relationship, the stronger the results. We have world-class partners in Honda, Crawford, and Pirelli. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Mark to tell you about the Honda business.
Mr. Hondo was a racer himself. He used racing in a way that was rather unique. He developed his company around it. It taught technical skill, it taught teamwork, and ultimately he used racing to introduce his company on the world stage. The company I represent, Honda Performance Development, was started in 1993 to be Honda's Honda's racing company in this continent. And since that time, we've been racing in open wheel consistency since 1994. One of our long-term goals is to try to grow the participation of open wheel racing. And so the FIA has that same goal in its creation of an F4, and the SCCA shares that same goal in bringing F4 to America. And so we're pleased that they've selected us as an engine partner. It's a perfect marrying of goals across the partnership. The engine that we'll utilize is the modern K20 engine that's currently being used in the European Type R. We'll decontent it. It's a two-liter engine, so it'll be more minimally aspirated, and then it will meet the FIA's requirements for 160 horsepower output. We're also pleased that we continue to broaden our partnership with Crawford Composites. We've started working with them on the Formula Lights program, and this gives us another path to work with them and partner with them for a cost-effective racing platform. And with that, I'd like to introduce Katie.
Hi, I'm Catherine Crawford. You have to excuse me. Catherine and I just both ran over here from another session, so I'm still sort of calming down. I'm the engineering manager, senior project manager, and aerodynamics for Crawford Composites. I think that the most important thing for us is that we're all racers. The company was founded by my parents, and my father has been racing forever, so everything that we do has always been geared towards racing. And not only that, but it's also the quality. It's the quality of what we put out, which we're very, very proud of. It's a complete validation for us as a company to be chosen as a partner for the FIA, for Honda, SCCA, and Pirelli. It's very important, and it shows that all the work that we've done is culminated in something special. The F4 program is a natural progression for us after the FL15. We can take all of that knowledge that we gained from that program, and that is a wonderful car, as hopefully Catherine will tell you later. We can take that knowledge, and although the F4 is got a larger price cap on it than the FL15, we can take the suspension geometry and those kinds of things and scale it. We do have some changes to make to meet the rules package, but overall, the car is going to be quite similar to drive, and it's going to be a quality piece, which is what Crawford does. So the testing schedule that we're looking at is to get the car. The car's already been started. We already have some visuals to see. We're going to have the testing schedule start around mid-October, so we're going to take it out there, and hopefully Catherine will come drive it for me again, as she has the FL15. So we haven't really put out all the specs, but obviously the specs are given to us by the FIA for the F4, so you generally know what those are. The quality will stay there, but it will be more affordable for people that want to get on the ladder. And you'll see as we unveil it, there's going to be some special attributes that you can follow this through with as we're talking about the ladder series. So we're very excited about that. But if there's any questions that you have when we go out there, we're more than welcome to ask, and we'll answer those as we go.
We will have one-on-one time when we get out to unveil the car in just a moment. Many of you know Rafael Navarro. Thank you, Captain, by the way. Rafael is the VP of Communications and Motorsports for Pirelli Tire North America. As you can see from the F4 United States Championship signage, Pirelli will be the official tire supplier of the new series. Rafael could not be with us today. He's in Italy right now, but he asked us to read this statement from Pirelli. On behalf of Pirelli, Rafael would like to thank the SCCA and its partners for selecting Pirelli to supply the tires for the new championship. The company's been quite busy over the past few years growing its motorsport business in North America. They've been working toward a presence consistent with their engagement at the pinnacle of motorsport across the U.S. The new F4 championship is a logical next step on top of what has been started with Formula Lights and is consistent with Pirelli's philosophy of promoting young driving talent. The company is looking forward to working with the partners to build a successful, visible program that helps develop and propel future generations of competitors. And I'm sure Rafael, when you see him next time, will be glad to tell you more about that. Now I'd like to introduce the president of the Road Racing Drivers Club and team principal, Bobby Rahal, to talk about it.
thank you. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be with all of you today as president of the RRDC and representing all the members of the RRDC. For those of you who don't know what that is, this is an organization that's over 60 years old now, and an organization that really included the greatest drivers in the world over the many decades since then, since 1952 when it was first started. And of course, the famous symbol of the steering wheel is our symbol, and during the 50s and 60s, the RRDC was dedicated to improving the safety of motorsports and also actually providing driving schools for those drivers, SCCA in particular, which most everybody was in those days, SCCA drivers to improve their craft. Obviously, since that time, Skip Barber showed up and Bob Bondurant and things like that, and they did a fantastic job. And it really became incumbent upon the organization about 10 years ago to really figure out how we were going to be relevant to the sport of motor racing in the future. And we concluded that the best way was that when you looked at our membership list, there were people that were professional racing car drivers of great note. There were people who were very good amateur racers who were also very, very good in the civilian world, so to speak, marketers and bankers and PR people and you name it. And so we felt that the way we could leave our imprint on the sport was to do everything we could to help young people make the grade from karting into racing, and to explain to them or to provide videos of how, you know, what you needed to do to go find a sponsor, what you needed to do to prepare yourself mentally and physically in order to succeed in motorsports. Since that time, and we've gone online, which is the number of people that access our site around the world is pretty staggering, from places even like Afghanistan and Iraq, places you might not think of would be accessing our website, and there they are, and it's really been very, very popular. And it's been popular in a large degree thanks to the support of the FIA, which we continue, and also I might add Honda, which has, I suppose that's why I'm here, but there's that connection. And of course now with this new car, it really fits into that, what we've been trying to do, which is once again to help young people make the grade from karting to the next step of open wheel racing or whatever it is they might want to do. And so this is exciting. I think I saw my friend Adrian Newey's son just won that Formula 4 race the other day in England, so it's an exciting day. And I wish you all the best, and I'm sure the RRDC will be right there alongside you in many ways.
Thank you, Bobby. I'd like to introduce you to Catherine Legg at the far end of our panel. She, of course, IndyCar veteran here this weekend to compete in the IMSA United Sports Car Championship, and in her role as test pilot for Crawford Dubai.
Seemingly so. I'm probably one of the lucky ones because I've actually got to drive the car. But I'll start at the beginning, and hopefully I won't rabbit on for too long. I first met Catherine in 2012 when she was one of my engineers at the 500, and I was blown away by her professionalism and attention to detail, and that has definitely carried over into this car. When I drove it, well, first of all, I looked at it and I was like, that's a really good looking car, as you'll see outside in a minute. I wonder if it drives as good as it looks. And like I said, it's phenomenal because it's so much fun to drive. It does exactly what it says on the tin. You know, I wish there had been a series like this when I was going up through. I started in Formula Ford 1600 without the wings on. Then I went into Formula Renault and did a couple of races in Formula 3 and worked my way through. If there had been a jump like this Formula 4 car, from going out karting into open wheel, I think it would have made me a lot better, a lot quicker, if that makes sense. Everything we did to the car when we tested it, you know, it does what it's supposed to do, which is unusual. There haven't been cars that have been built to this standard in a very long time, in my opinion. And I've driven quite a lot of different cars. I think I probably have one of the most diverse careers of any race driver. And like I say, it was just fun to drive. It is probably the best entry-level series that I can think of from a driving standpoint, because it just teaches them exactly what they need to know, and it teaches them how to be smooth, which is going to be close racing, and most importantly, as I can definitely attest to, it's going to be affordable. And whether you guys know or not, the hardest thing about racing is actually putting the budgets together to go racing. We don't all have rich daddies, unfortunately. I keep having a go at mine for not being. But I will. I'll let you all go and look at the car and judge it for yourselves. There's so much you can do with it as well, which I was super impressed with. You could put bigger tires and a bigger engine in, and it would still be an amazing step up the ladder. So the engine, I should also mention the links to Honda. You know, I've worked with Honda before. I drove for them in the 500, and it's an amazing engine package. They have done a quality job, as they always do, and I think I'm definitely lending my support, and I definitely want to test the car again with Catherine. But I'm not just saying it either. Like, it is really, really genuine. It is the best out of series car that I've driven in a long time, and I think that's very important that I impart that passion to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Catherine. I'd like to reintroduce Robert Clark, the president of SCCA Pro Racing, to kind of wrap up our portion of the presentation here.
Yeah, we're on a tight timeline. We have a hard stop at noon, so quickly, to make it clear, we are launching next year, in 2016, a 5-event, 15 race. There's 3 races at every event series. Those will be geographically mostly focused on the east side of the country. If you draw a line through Road America and Coda, basically east of that. Starting in 17 and 18, in 17 we'll add it'll go up to 7 events and 21 races, and 18 will go to 8 events and 24 races, moving towards the west. And ultimately, we have a vision of maybe in the old Atlantic days, we had an East and West championship, that in order to keep it regional and keep the cost of competition down, that might be a smart direction. And so that's in consideration. Of course, the affordability of the product, and we have not talked about that. This car, a running car, on wheels, ready to roll, is $51,600. That's 40% less than a contemporary F-1600 car. It's unbelievable. It's a contemporary carbon tub, built to FIA specifications for driver compartment and crash testing, paddle shift, sequential shift, data acquisition, camera, contemporary Honda engine with direct and fuel injection, high efficiency, on the best, Formula One derived Pirelli tires. This is outstanding product at an unbelievable price. We believe that price is the biggest hurdle for new drivers to get into full-size cars. This will do it. That combined with a number of other attributes, the FIA brand, the fact that drivers are eligible for FIA super license points is another key component. In 2017 will be an international F4 championship. There will be an F4 world champion that will bring the leading drivers of each nation together to compete in a world final. No other ladder can offer these opportunities. We're working with established alliances with WKA, World Karting Association, and SCCA, Superkart USA, to work relationships. Already we have reached that agreement with WKA. We're in that continuing discussions with SCCA to provide an alliance which will drive karters, graduating karters into our program, and at the same time motivate drivers to pursue karting that will allow them to accumulate the skills that will allow them to prevail in Formula 4. Part of what is required under the F4 campaign is a comprehensive marketing and promotional campaign to give drivers recognition, to make these things visible, give them awareness. That requires money and support. It's the cooperation of partners like Honda and Crawford and Pirelli that make that possible. We're looking for a title sponsor. If there are any out here, we're ready and willing, in a very affordable and very attractive program that will give broad exposure on every car that's out there in the field. We're working with schools to provide driver development, not just in the sense of on-track driver development, but in the sense of the way Bobby and Catherine talked about in developing the entire package of physical training, mental training, race strategy, the way to present yourself, to sell yourself to sponsors and all of that. That is a package, part of the F4 package. Track time. As I mentioned, 3 races at each race event, 3 hours of on-track time. So 3 races with 2 practice sessions. It's all about getting young drivers the experience that they need, and the best way to do that is on track. Awards and incentives. We'll be announcing in the coming weeks, but we will announce an awards and incentive program that will rival all ladder series programs currently. It will be lucrative. Every race on the weekend will, all podium finishers will receive cash awards. There will be a champion of the weekend that will receive a cash award. And at the end of the season, champions will receive a lucrative payout for that, which will increase each year as we grow the series and get greater car counts. And with that, I think we're ready to move back and take a look at this beautiful car.
And just one, Stefano asked if he could.
Yes,
No,
final word.
very quickly, because I think that you touched perfectly the big picture. But there is one thing that I want to highlight. This series, and thanks for what you did, is in terms of cost per kilometer, the lowest in the world. The thinking is, we see, unfortunately, I have to say, a lot of investment in simulations, in simulators, and so on. But what we are missing, if we want to look ahead, is to give the track time to the drivers. They have to have the chance to drive the car, not only to be behind the computer and be fantastic with the whatever you call it. So that is really something that is essential to the first part of the pyramid. The cost per kilometer or per mile, whatever you call it here, is the lowest in the world. And this is very important because, as Catherine was saying, it's fundamental that we can give a chance to everyone that can drive, and then the talent will be there. So I just wanted to add this specific point just to make sure that it's clear that we want to see drivers on the track, not only the simulator. Sorry for that.
If you could pass the mic to Paul Charlie.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, hi everybody. I'm Paul Charsley and I represent the Sim Raceway Performance Driving Centre, formerly the Jim Russell Racing Drivers School. Right here with me is Nico Ronday, who's our head instructor. We've been extremely enthusiastic about the Formula 4 program ever since its inception outside of the US, and really excited to see it come in here. We are actually putting our hat in the ring very heavy, and we're putting our name on the list, top of the list, the first 6 cars. We're going to receive them at our facility, hopefully early on in the new year, and then we're going to open up an official SCCA Formula 4 training center for driver development, testing, etc. So we're going to kind of help this ball get rolling. Obviously, the Jim Russell Racing Driver School has actually put out a lot of the most current Formula 1 American drivers, so we're going to hopefully build on that very, very heavily. So really excited about the program. We have a West Coast Formula 3 derived series that's actually racing today, in fact, and we run on Pirelli tires. They're an outstanding tire, so we're very happy for Pirelli to be a part of this. We deal very heavily also with Crawford, because they help us a lot with a lot of our bits and pieces on our cars, and they do an exceptional job. So we're complete faith in Max and his crew to build the cars, and obviously extremely excited for Honda and the SCCA have been very supportive in what we wanted to do. As I said, we have been very eager to jump into this game, and we're really happy that it's finally come to this point today. And so we're ready to go, and I think hopefully we're going to bring up once again the latest batch of American young drivers, and we're going to be there to help in any way we can.
And Paul, or if I could ask you to carry it over to Jeremy Dale.
Jeremy Dale, who is the team principal of JDX Racing and a planned owner of the series.
Thanks, Rick. Yes, well, we were fortunate enough this year to race the FL15 all year, which is a very close cousin. I don't know, Catherine, how you would want to describe it, but I would call it a very close cousin of this car. Honda Power, Pirelli tires, and we won the first championship with that car this year. And so we're very excited about this because we know that the product is good. We know the partners are strong and supportive, and you can just see the commitment and the passion in Robert's eyes here, how this is going to work. It's absolutely going to work. So we're very excited, and we're in. We're in, absolutely.
Thank you. Let's go out and take a look.
With that, yes, please join us in the hallway. We'll unveil the new race car.